Welcome to week 38 of Esper's Refit. It's a Sunday morning and Pong is hard at work drinking his yardong. Actually this week we had Pong working on the boat, fixing the swimming platform. But it's his Sunday off. And this afternoon we're going to watch boxing. Thai boxing. Yeah. Chin chin.
Yeah.
Morning, Jimmy.
How are you?
Good.
Is it okay, Oot?
Yep.
All okay? Good man.
Okay. See you later.
Thank you. These are the beds for our cleats and fair leads, and we got them sprayed with their top coat to match the deck, so that means we can now start fitting them. Meanwhile, Moo has been fairing the rudder, getting it back to its original shape after our slight mishap and putting it on and finding it was a bit too wide after its extra coating of biaxial. It's not quite fitted yet. We've still got to epoxy this into place, but it now means that we can get on and reinstall the steering quadrant ready for the autopilot. Front deck hatch has now been installed, and again we use butyl tape for this. This was laid yesterday and it's already been trimmed once. Went round and tightened the bolts a little bit more, and as you can see it's extruded just a little bit more, which we'll have to trim away. Deck fittings and more deck fittings. These seem to be taking rather a long time, but we do have quite a lot. I thought I'd show you, since you know that we're using butyl tape, what butyl tape looks like when you leave it to extrude for a couple of days. So we haven't trimmed this one, I just thought I'd leave it out for you to see. And in this instance what we've done is we put tape underneath the cleat itself and under the bed. So the entire underside of both those surfaces were covered in butyl tape, which is about 1 mil thick. And of course we countersunk the holes in the deck as well, so the bolt when it went through was wrapped with butyl tape as well and pulled very tight, and you can see how much has actually come out. Tom meanwhile is finishing off a bit of veneering. We had to take delivery of some more veneer just to finish off little bits and pieces. Bit of veneering work done by the chart table. If you remember, that's our cupboard where the computer's going to sit, or one of the computers, and that's where our inverter sits. So we took delivery this week of some more veneer, which means Ton can finish off those little bits. If you remember, on the bulkhead we had the bolts for the chain plate, and so Tom's made a little box which will just fit over the top. Obviously it stands out at the moment because it hasn't been varnished, but once that's varnished, it I think it looks pretty acceptable actually. That's the one on the other side. It's not too bad at all. So talking of varnishing, we're now in the cabin and Dang has been sectioning off a piece at a time and working on one bit. So here you can see he's put cling film around pretty much everywhere in the boat except around here, and that was the last job he did yesterday. Obviously what we want to try and achieve is a completely smooth surface, so we actually want to fill in the grain here, and he's almost there with that. The other thing that concerns me are the edges, and I really do think these need to be built up with more polyurethane, because obviously they're going to get a lot of traffic as we grab hold of these areas and lean over them. But it's coming along. It's taking a while, I have to say, but you know, we want a good result, so it's worth paying that little bit extra to make sure the job's done properly. So here we have the Aqua Drive, which needed some repairs and also new bearings as well. Somewhere down the line, perhaps when we first bought the boat, when they put in our new shaft back then, they took this apart, and when they put it back together the bearings fell out and sat on our bilges for 10 years. So hopefully this is going to reduce the horrible clunking sound we used to get when we engage gear. So Dang has prepared these, sprayed them with all grip Matterhorn white to match the engine, and this is the coupling with the shaft that goes in here, and of course all of that is to be fitted down inside here with the addition of the dripless seal, which is something I want to install myself. Okay, back to the stainless shop, and stainless work here. They work on all sorts of objects and vehicles, vessels. And here we can see the team hard at work. Come in for some repairs. In the background, Yumi's working on the mounting bolts, or the mounting plates rather, for the swimming platform. So we're going to have a look at that. So here's one he made earlier. And the idea is that the swimming platform, I don't know if you'd like to hold this and explain to us how this works.
That bit to be slide in the swim platform. After we can mark and we drill the hole, 2 holes, 4 pin locking in swim platform. And
yeah.
this bit, the blacking plate is on the underside of the bulkhead.
Yep. So the reinforced box is going to take this backing plate, and on the front, inside the lazarette, is this, which the swimming platform will slide into. Good work, eh? Here we are inside the lazarette, and you can see the swimming platform comes through the transom and onto this reinforced box. And in fact they've had to add a little bit extra here because the reinforced glass fibre was not flat. The reason why we need it flat is because this bolts on like so. So essentially the swimming platform is being held in place by this, the bracket, and through the transom. And in fact I've already seen Jung, who's a strapping 5'11" chap with rippling muscles, and he's already stood on the platform and nothing broke. So we're pretty confident that this should be good enough to hold our weight. Back to the swimming platform, and here's Jung, and just beneath his elbow you can maybe catch a line that we've tied which represents the water line, and so we're just trying to check that the swimming platform is parallel to the water line because the boat is not even. They've offed it up now, and as you saw earlier, he's been making some backing plates. Which need to be bolted into the transom. So Jung has been working with Pong, who has been tasked with actually drilling the holes for the backing plates. Swimming platform is back in position, and it's actually been cut now, so it's now in the correct position as it will look when it's finished. Moo, what have you been doing?
Close the hole.
Yep.
This glass.
So this is an old seacop which we should have closed months ago really, but we don't need this anymore. So Moo has ground away at the hull and filled the seacop with epoxy and has put biaxial on. You know the routine, you've seen this before.
This now fiber glass.
Yep. How many layers?
7.
7.
Yep.
7 layers of fiberglass.
This dye. 3 more.
Okay, so you've put 4 on already, so we want 3 more, so he's just waiting for it to dry now.
Finish blending and microlite.
Yep, fill it in with microlite and epoxy, and then of course the high build and the final Jota Mastic 87. Quick rudder update. It's been dropped again, and Moo ground it back and has painted it with Jota Mastic. So eventually we'll sand this back to a smooth surface, and it'll be ready for anti-foul. So as Jung epoxies and bolts in our rudder, we'll say goodbye for another week and catch you next time.